Our next contestant is JonBenét Ramsey.
It's been a staggering 17 years since the world watched with bated breath as John Mark Carr was arrested and extradited from Thailand, a move that seemed like a monumental breakthrough in the perplexing decade-long investigation into the tragic murder of JonBenét Ramsey. JonBenét, a sweet and innocent 6-year-old girl, had become a household name worldwide, with her heart-wrenching death transforming into one of the most enduring and haunting crime mysteries in American history. The year was 2006, when Carr claimed to have been with JonBenét when she met her untimely demise, a full decade before his arrest. He boldly asserted that her death was not the result of foul play, but a terrible accident. He professed deep affection for the little girl and expressed profound sorrow for the tragedy that had befallen her. Yet, despite his astonishing assertions and the alleged involvement, authorities faced a daunting challenge in connecting Carr to the gruesome crime scene. In the end, they had to release him. But it's crucial to note that not everyone involved in the investigation was convinced of his innocence or the veracity of his claims regarding JonBenét's murder. In an exclusive interview with The Messenger, Carr, now 58, broke his long silence and declared, "I am not crazy, I am not delusional." Carr revealed that he resides in a high-rise condominium somewhere in Europe, though he chose not to disclose the exact location, citing concerns for his own safety. Going back to the grim day when JonBenét was first reported missing and subsequently discovered lifeless in the basement of her affluent Colorado home, a mere day before Christmas in 1996. The initial inquiry centered on a perplexing question: who could have committed such a heinous act against this innocent child? The coroner's verdict sent shivers down spines. JonBenét's official cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation, associated with craniocerebral trauma, signifying a gruesome combination of choking and brutal head trauma. A garrote was found around her neck, and while there was no evidence of conventional rape, sexual assault could not be ruled out. Adding to the macabre puzzle was the discovery of unknown DNA under JonBenét's fingernails and on her clothing. A cryptic ransom note demanding $118,000 in the family's home further compounded the mystery. The nation was spellbound by the tragedy, as JonBenét had been a participant in a few child beauty pageants. Her images adorned magazine covers and graced television screens as she was dolled up for these competitions. The case initially cast suspicion on the Ramsey family, JonBenét's father John, mother Patsy, and brother Burke. Yet, after thorough investigation, they were all cleared of any involvement. The nagging question lingered like a shadow. Who could have inflicted such harm on a child and left behind a ransom note while the family slumbered above? A decade later, a breakthrough that held promise emerged when authorities apprehended a potential suspect in Bangkok, Thailand. This suspect was none other than John Mark Carr, a school teacher who had shared a chillingly detailed account with a journalism professor, recounting his presence with JonBenét during her final moments. The professor promptly alerted the authorities. Carr, then 42, was extradited to the United States and subjected to intensive questioning by investigators. What set Carr apart was his uncanny knowledge of case details that had never been disclosed to the public. His claims seemed to align with physical evidence. There were 11 critical days in December 1996, including the fateful day of the murder, when Carr's whereabouts remained unaccounted for. Despite a relative's assertion of having photographs of him at a holiday gathering, these photos remained concealed, leaving authorities with only strong circumstantial support for his family's conviction that he was in Georgia when the crime occurred in Boulder. However, there was a revelation that the DNA found in JonBenét's undergarments did not match Carr's genetic profile. Boulder police, who believed that Carr's DNA should have been present at the crime scene if his account were true, ultimately released him. The FBI, however, dissented, contending that the presence of additional DNA did not exonerate Carr, but instead hinted at the potential involvement of another party. A former FBI source involved in the case lamented, "I didn't want him to be let go quite yet. I thought maybe we should have held on to him until we were absolutely sure. But it wasn't my call." This source, like many others, was left with a slew of unanswered questions. There were enough questions that made me raise my eyebrows. He was cagey and smart, and he knew a lot. Did that add up to murder? Or involvement on some level? I don't know, but I wanted to learn more. In the years following his release, the media reported a startling transformation in Karr's life. He had undergone a gender reassignment and was living as a woman, adopting a different identity. However, Karr vehemently denied these reports, dismissing them as false and malicious. "I am not living as a woman. My name is John Mark Carr. I am a man," he declared. He acknowledged changing his name to escape relentless harassment, but asserted that it had nothing to do with altering his gender. Karr had, in fact, worked as a nanny with children since his release, although he is currently unemployed. He lamented the difficulty of securing employment due to his background, insisting that numerous falsehoods had been spread about him. As for the lingering questions about his involvement in JonBenét's death, Karr remained enigmatic, choosing not to confirm or deny his presence during the tragic incident. He cryptically stated, "Everyone was so quick to say that I was a liar or delusional. Did it ever occur to someone that I might have been trying to protect someone else?" Yet, he declined to offer any further insight into this intriguing statement. The Messenger uncovered that the FBI had scrutinized Karr multiple times concerning the Ramsey case and other cases involving missing and deceased children, yet no charges related to these cases had ever been filed against him. Now, nearly 27 years since JonBenét's untimely passing, the investigation remains an open and active case. Authorities are now employing cutting-edge DNA technology to re-examine several pieces of evidence, leaving us to ponder whether Karr could once again find himself in the spotlight if there is a DNA match. The Boulder Police Department, however, did not respond to the Messenger's request for comment, leaving us to speculate about their next steps. In a poignant turn of events, JonBenét's father, John Ramsey, publicly criticized the Boulder Police Department for their handling of the case. In a heartfelt open letter to Colorado Governor Jared Polis in 2022, John implored for assistance in solving the case and for transferring it to a different agency. His words spoke of a father's relentless pursuit of justice for his daughter. "I am 78 now and realize that time for answers is running out. The murder of my daughter can never be undone. There will never be peace or closure, but there can and should be justice." And so, the haunting mystery of JonBenét Ramsey endures, a riddle entwined with the threads of time, awaiting resolution and closure in a saga that has spanned decades, a story that continues to captivate our collective consciousness and challenge our understanding of justice.